UPS has fired 48,000 employees this year, 34,000 in operational, 14,000 in management and admin. Guys, automation and AI are a huge deal. It is going to impact every single person in every single level of every single organization. But don't just take my word for it. Listen to what the UPS CEO, Carol Tome, has to say. Earlier this year, she announced that UPS's, quote, Network of the Future initiative is looking at the automation of building operations. This should not be a surprise, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But they're looking at using more robotics, automatic labeling, sorting automations. Guys, listen to this. Earlier in April of this year, she announced that 63% of their volume went through automated hubs. Automated meaning humans were not playing a major role. In Q1 of this year, she said that UPS would be, quote, less dependent on labor moving forward, unquote. Guys, are you paying attention yet? Are you understanding the implications to your job, your neighbor's job? Are you understanding the implications to be able to feed your family, keeping your wife happy? Guys, this is a major deal. In today's video, we are going to cover who's being impacted, why it's happening, how it's happening, and we're going to cover what you can do to stay relevant. If you stick around to the end, I have one thing, the one thing that will completely transform the way that you evolve and adapt during this time. So please stick around to the end, because that one tip, my vision for you is that you watch the video, you understand what's happening, and you understand what you can do as an individual to stay relevant. So let's get into it. Like, subscribe. I'm coming to you with fresh videos Monday through Saturday, 6 days a week, fresh video about how AI and automation are impacting the workforce. And before we get into why layoffs are happening, I just want to say that this is an interesting thing that has been brought to my attention by you, the community. The job cuts are expected to save UPS about $3.5 billion annually, these 48,000 job cuts. And it did not scare investors. In fact, it spiked investment, and shares rose 7%. Now, if you've been following the channel and you're in the know like me and thousands of other men are, what you're starting to see is a pattern. History rhymes. And what we're seeing in this pattern is that company announces job cuts, stock spikes. And then, again, this is not financial advice. Pay attention, do your own research. But we're seeing that as soon as the layoffs are announced, there's a huge spike, or big spike. We see 7% in this case. And then it kind of tapers off and normalizes. But what I'm seeing is that people that know that the firings are coming, boom, pump, invest, and then the day or two after, you sell and you kind of mellow out. So anyway, I'm not a stock advisor. My stocks are up 33% just this year, so I'm happy about that. But I'm not a day trader or anything. But what I do like to do is look at trends. So anyway, let's talk more about the firings. But I do want to give a shout out to the community for saying, hey, Mark, what we're seeing here is these companies are saying it's AI and automation to spike the price. And I do not think that you are wrong. I do think that the AI and automation plays a big role. But it is interesting to see how stock valuations are impacted. So let's look into the layoffs. Why are these layoffs happening? Okay, I've already alluded to it, but let's go into more detail. So there are a few things that are impacting it. So A, post-COVID, everybody was buying from home, shopping from home, and that led to a surge in e-commerce, okay? B, in January, UPS announced that it had reached a deal with Amazon to lower its volume by 50%. So essentially it was gonna be, UPS was gonna be handling less Amazon deliveries by 2026. Now, this also I think is relevant because before you say, oh, Mark, well, you know, they're just firing people because of Amazon. Guys, Amazon is doing the same thing. In fact, yesterday, I'll post a link to the video here. Yesterday, Amazon announced it's gonna lay off 30,000 corporate employees, thousands of L5 through L7, mid-level managers, admin, HR, all the Karens, getting the axe, they're out of here. So before you say, well, it's just UPS, guys, this is happening everywhere. This is happening everywhere. And what's also interesting is a lot of these companies are seeing year-over-year increases in revenue. UPS is not. UPS has seen a slight dip, but they're performing well. Let's just say they're performing well. Let's talk about in my opinion, the real reason that these layoffs are happening. A huge push into AI and automation as a replacement of human labor. Guys, you get it. Humans are messy. We show up late, we get sick, we don't put in our full effort, we have excuses, we fight with our coworkers. We're tough, we're challenging. We're not as efficient as a robot can be, at least in a lot of positions. And this isn't to say that humans don't have value. I believe that humans are infinitely valuable. We're created in the image of God. We have infinite value. Whether or not you believe in that, that's the way I see it. Regardless, robots are much better at some things than humans. And UPS recognizes that, and they are doubling down on automating of route optimization, sorting, predictive maintenance of potential issues, stuff that humans can't see. You see, guys, these robots, these AI bots, are able to scour the entire internet. They're able to scour massive, massive databases. I won't go into all the ways that I'm using AI in this video, but if you keep watching my videos, I'll bring that up from time to time. But the reality is AI is very, very good at some things that humans are typically not good at, and we are seeing it happening. In fact, in references below, UPS has estimated that it has reduced labor hours 10% using AI and machine learning. And again, the goal of these guys is not to say, oh, 10%, we're done. They're saying, we just saved 10%. How about 20%? How about 30%? How about we replace 90% of human labor with robots because they're just so much easier. I just tell them what to do and they just do it, beep, boop. Can you not see that would be appealing? I mean, I know in my world, if I can use a software and automation to handle a task instead of a human, it's way easier. I don't have to deal with training. I don't have to deal with the sick days. I don't have to deal with, oh, this person moved to another company and I got to bring on another person and train them. I just use the software. Not because I don't like humans, but because software is easier. It's easier. And it doesn't just stop there with the delivery. UPS has this deal manager AI that is very, very useful for quoting and pricing. And they've announced that they have their AI software has a 79% win rate, which reduces the sales workforce. And by the way, I covered in a video, I'm gonna post a link to it here. This is a very important video to check out, of how a friend of mine who is a regional manager for a very large auto mechanic company, how they're using AI to automate quotes, pricing, sourcing. Essentially, they look at a vehicle, and then they send all the details over to an AI bot, which goes and sources the parts, puts together a proposal, sends the quote to the client. Watch that video. It will blow your mind how they are using AI already today. This is not something that's speculative or happening in the future. It is happening now. And this car mechanic company is not the only one doing that. As you can see, UPS is doing it too. And as a result, 48,000 humans got the axe this year. So who is being fired? We see 48,000 people get fired. Who's being fired? Well, 70% are warehouse workers, and 70% of those impact drivers of vehicles. I'm not going to get into self-driving vehicles. I don't think that is what has happened here with the UPS drivers. It's just not there yet. But please believe I will be recording videos about automated vehicles replacing, autonomous vehicles replacing delivery drivers, truck drivers, taxi cab drivers. I'll post a link to it here. I posted a video about how Tesla robo-taxis and Waymos are already replacing drivers for livery drivers. But delivery drivers, it's all gonna get replaced. If you're driving a vehicle now, it's a good time to start thinking about what that looks like in the next 5 to 10 years. We'll see how quickly it rolls out. But these, what was also interesting here, we talk about these warehouse workers being impacted. Amazon is doing the same thing. I posted a video. I know I'm referencing a lot of videos, but it's like, I go on X and people are so surprised. They're so shocked that these layoffs are happening. It's like, guys, we've been covering this for months. If you've been following the channel, you knew this is happening. You can see it. We could predict this months in advance. It's like we're fortune tellers because we're just looking at the news. We're just looking at what these companies are literally telling us to our faces. But people are surprised. Oh, tens of thousands of people being fired. Yeah, we know. We've been watching it. We've been following Mark Savant. We've been following the channel. We know. But Amazon, just last week I covered this. There was an internal memo that was leaked that showed plans to implement 600,000 robots in warehouses, which was going to replace or displace roughly 500,000 human workers, 500,000. Let that sink in. 600,000 robots. Now, before you say, Mark, that's impossible. Guys, there are already 1 million Amazon robots in warehouses now. Over 1 million. In fact, we covered that on the channel. In fact, there are almost, by the time we're recording this, they might have surpassed this point. There are almost as many robots in Amazon warehouses as humans. Yes, fact. And if you think that Amazon is, listen, if Amazon is doing it, Walmart's doing it, that's the biggest employer in the United States outside the federal government. Walmart's doing it, UPS is going to do it, all these companies are going to be doing it. And what's also funny to me, and by the way, the comments I get on the channel, you guys are studs. I get so many great comments on this channel. And if you leave a really good comment, I will pin it. I've pinned great comments in the past. I will pin great comments in the future. It's well thought out. If you bring data or personal experience, I will pin your comment. But a few months ago, someone on the channel posted that they work in a warehouse and their job would be okay. Their job would be safe because they're in a warehouse. Guys, what are we talking about here? What are you even talking about? Guys, the warehouse jobs are like first on the chopping block, dude. So don't get high on your own supply, man. Don't get high on your own supply. This is happening. And don't think that it can't happen to you. It's happening at every level of every organization. And some jobs are gonna be safer than others. Maybe I'll record a video on the safest jobs and the most at-risk jobs. But regardless, everyone will be impacted or affected. If not directly, then indirectly. So we've got 70% of okay, just to back it up. UPS fires 48,000 workers. By the way, not done. They fire 48,000 workers. 70% are warehouse workers and drivers. 30% are management and administrative staff. That's 14,000 middle managers, white collar workers that are on the chopping block. By the way, this is right off the back of Amazon doing it, Meta doing it. Just go through the links of the videos on my channel, guys. All these companies are laying off white collar, mid-level workers. And a lot of them are in HR, by the way. It's like, if you were to take 6 months off, would your job miss you? Would your company need to replace you? What would they do? Important question to ask. And what we're seeing here is that not only are companies not hiring, but they are not hiring new employees, they are firing existing employees, and they're leaning on AI and the existing staff to be more efficient. Think about it this way. And by the way, this doesn't always work. Klarna earlier this year fired a bunch of employees and then for AI, and they realized the quality control wasn't there, so they had to hire back. Companies are going to do that. Companies are going to they're going to implement pressure systems on their staff in hopes that they're going to crush and release a diamond, right? And so I don't know, if you're a worker in any sort of white collar capacity, you need to be thinking about how can I use AI to do my job better? How can I use AI on automation and deploy AI agents to be more effective at my job? At the very least, you want to be able to have an educated decision with your customers, your clients, your coworkers, your bosses about how AI is impacting your job or how it could impact your job. If you go into, let me put it this way, and we're going to get into the how to adjust section here. And by the way, if you're still here and you'd like to subscribe, props to you. I'm about to give you the #1 way to stay relevant, respected, and financially free. If you're a guy that wants to remain relevant, respected, financially free during the AI revolution, I'm about to give you the biggest cheat code. It is coming up right here, right now. It's about to come up. But if you are not, I'll get to it in just a minute, but if you are not able to have that conversation about AI and automation within your specific industry, it's gonna be very difficult for you to remain hired. That's the full stop. I will not hire anyone that is not using AI in some capacity. You just need to be able to understand how to use it and use it well. Not just use it to pump out AI slop, but know how to use it well. So let's talk about how to adjust. And the very last tip here is going to be the #1 tip. It's a challenge, in fact. But before we get to that, what do? Start learning and adjusting to new tools. How are they being used in your industry? Listen to podcasts, talk to people, watch videos, practice, spend at least an hour a week researching. and then start playing with the tools. And listen, don't be private. Don't be in your basement playing with these tools. Be public. I already talked about this. Talk to people. Update your LinkedIn. Test new things. On your LinkedIn, share posts. Honestly, I don't even care if you really dive in. I think that you should. But at least on LinkedIn, a couple times a week, share a post about an interesting AI or automation story that's happening in your industry. I don't care if you get 0 likes. Still, go ahead and repost it. Be public about it. Invest in assets, not liabilities, guys. Cars are great, but they depreciate in value. It's time to start, in my opinion, time to start being lean. I want to develop multiple streams of income. I don't want to have debt. I don't want to be paying off loans and interest. Try to stay lean, guys. It's gonna get nasty here. History rhymes, boys. It's gonna get nasty here. You can see all the firings happening. And here's the deal. Here's the kicker. Here's how you really are gonna survive this. Human relationships. Human relationships, guys. And I covered this a few weeks ago, but if you're trying to find a job, your human relationships are going to 4x your chances of finding a good job. So make sure that you are building human relationships. And I have a challenge for you today, okay? This is my challenge, because guys, I want you to watch the videos, understand what's happening, but also walk away with a piece of something that's practical and tangible that can actually help improve your life. So here's my challenge for you today. The next time you get in your car, I'm gonna do this with you too, by the way. Next time you get in your car, look through your Rolodex and call someone that you respect, but you haven't spoken to in a while. This could be someone from high school, college, heck, it could be elementary school, I don't care. But call someone that you respect and you haven't spoken to in a while. Just call them, see how they're doing, check in. This habit, this muscle that you're building is going to be the key to surviving this next role. Because as a guy, as men, it's very easy for us to kind of live out on our own island, be lone wolves. That's the majority of my life, right? I'm not hanging out with the guys anymore. I'm with my wife and my kids and with you. But don't underestimate the value of those relationships in a robot, automated, digital, AI slop world. The relationships that you have are going to matter a lot. Mark my words. All right, that's it, boys. Go out, conquer, and if you enjoyed today's video, you're gonna love yesterday's video or be terrified of yesterday's video where we talk in detail about what's happening at Amazon. 30,000 corporate employees fired, axed, gone. Go check out that video, and I'll see you there. All right, boys, peace.